ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Heidi Childs.
Hi, you know my name. So I have been thinking, when I was a little girl, I had a superpower. Does anybody believe in superpowers here at all? I was born with the gift of loving unconditionally, but also I understood people in a way that little people, I know I'm little still, but little people are not normally capable of seeing. At 6, I had my first counseling session with an adult about her marriage. And she told me that was the best advice she had ever had. But with every superhero, they have an Achilles heel. I don't know superheroes very well, so I can't remember what the green, who is in Superman, okay, kryptonite. So I had this amazing superpower, and I loved people so much that I felt my job in life was to care for them. And being a little girl, I was actually told that that was my job, that I actually was the counselor of my family. So I heard things little girls shouldn't hear, little kids shouldn't hear. I was helping my parents with their marriage at 6, 7, 8. And I took on a responsibility that I don't believe anyone should take on. The responsibility of that I am in charge of your happiness and the success of my family. But later I learned that my kryptonite was I was so focused on everyone else that I forgot the most important person. Who do you think that was? Me. I grew up actually hating myself. I believe that I brought in a lot of pain in my life, things that didn't necessarily need to be there. I was told some things that were very hurtful. From a very young age, I started pulling my hair out. I started at 1, pulling my hair out because I was so anxious. And I was extremely depressed. And it was very, very difficult growing up. I got to the point where I completely crumbled because you can only hold up people so long if you're not feeding yourself. And it wasn't my job to take care of my family. My family actually fell apart 6 months after I got married, and I got very, very ill because I felt that because I left my family that I was in charge of that. It was my fault. But in getting to know Chris and Gerald, they have been my angels in my life. They're the ones when I was struggling in quicksand. And you know, when you struggle in quicksand, the more you struggle, the more you sink. I thought I could do it alone, but I couldn't. And they reached their hand down and they pulled me up. And they gave me the tools that I needed to get out of my ill, sick body and ways of thinking. I was literally in the hospital about every other day to every 2 weeks. I was so anxious that I would go into seizures and would have to go into the hospital. But with every superpower, every superhero has to learn how to use it properly. My superpower wasn't bad. I just needed to know and learn how to use it. And they've taught me how to use it, not to take on other people's problems, but to care for myself and to love myself. And that was the turning point. I actually had a doctor just recently. I went to the doctor's and he looked at me and said, "I do not recognize you. What happened to you? In fact, please tell me what happened because I need to bottle whatever it is up that happened so I can pass it on to my other patients. I need to know, what in the world did you do?" And at first I gave him the answer of, well, I was determined. I, wanted to fix myself. And then I left and I thought, you know what? I've been determined my whole life. That's not the answer. What is the answer? And I had to go back in my memory, and I looked back and I realized the moment that I was set free was when I set myself free. I started loving me. That was the key to all my progress. And many of you know, some of you know me, about 5 months ago, I was in the hospital all the time doing electroshock therapy because I was so dangerous to myself. I've tried to commit suicide several times. I've cut myself several times, tried to hurt myself several times. And I was in a very, very bad place, and the doctors didn't know what to do with me. I had resistant depression. They gave me all the medicine and talked to me, and nothing was working. So for 6 years, I was in the hospital every other week doing electroshock therapy. And 5 months ago, against my doctor's orders, I decided I was done. They said I would do it for life, and I decided, no, I love me. I'm good. I do have anxiety, I do have depression, but I am so strong, and I am so capable that I can do what I need to do. And I have the power to stop this horrible, horrible place that I'm in, and I'm choosing out of it. And I am done, absolutely done with being ill. It's been 3.5, 4 weeks since my last seizure. My seizures were brought on by my panic attacks. I am totally in control now of my life. And I am living my dream now. This is my dream. To be able to help others, but my bucket is full. I'm not depleted anymore. Every day I make sure that I fill my bucket, that I take care of Heidi before I come here and help all of you. And when you can come to the conclusion that you are amazing the way you are. I was amazing when I was broken. I just didn't know it. All of you are amazing just the way you are. And all of you are amazing because you desire for more. That's why you're here. None of you have given up on yourself. I didn't give up on myself. That's why I'm here. And I am very grateful to be a part of such an amazing transformation in this world, that people can learn to love themselves. And I'm so grateful for Gerald. He has been with me for a very, very long time. And I'm so grateful to Chris. They are my family. And we are eternally bound now. And they have never given up on me. And it helps me on my really bad days where I am low on fuel. And I can just text them. And I can talk to them and say, I'm hurting. And they are there. So if any of you have any inkling that you need to get into something like this, please follow it. Talk to our angels. Talk to Chris and Gerald, please. Because if I can get out of hell, where I could see nothing but darkness, each and every one of you can as well. And I would be more than happy to help if you need help as well. I love all of you. Thank you.